Bonjour tout le monde. Je suis Ottilia Baraboy, la directrice de l'Alliance Française de Seattle. Et voilà, je suis ravie de présenter aussi Diane Lelay, qui est notre euh, directrice des programmes et du développement. Et aussi ma collègue de Portland, elle se présentera aussi de l'Alliance de Portland, elle est née. Je voulais juste dire que ça nous fait très plaisir de commencer cette collaboration avec l'Alliance française de Montréal. Nous, on a quelques autres voyages d'immersion, mais ça sera une première avec nos collègues du Canada. Donc voilà, je suis très heureuse d'être là. Hélène, je te laisse dire deux, trois mots si tu veux.
Merci Ottilia, je m'appelle Hélène Zedkinidze, je suis directrice de l'Alliance Française de Portland et nous sommes ravis de lancer ce partenariat pour la première fois avec l'Alliance Française de Montréal. Ça complète joliment notre offre de voyage d'immersion et j'ai hâte d'en apprendre plus avec les autres.
Super, merci beaucoup. Et ben, je m'appelle Noéline, évidemment, et je vais passer en anglais, starting now. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you, Ottilia, Elene, Diane, of course, for hosting this webinar about our new product that started last year. That is a immersion program here in Montreal. So my name is Noéline. I'm one of the people in charge of the academic affairs here. I supervise the immersion program that we have in the summertime. And I am supported by my colleague, Kelly, who's in charge of the group courses and workshops here in Alliance Française de Montréal. So today we're going to talk about this program. I'm going to explain to you how it works. What's so specific about it as well. And if you have any questions, you could actually use the chat to ask questions, and Kelly will answer the best she can. And she can. Okay, so let's start our presentation. So of course, Alliance Française de Montréal is a member of the global Alliance Française network. We are 9 Alliance Française in Canada. There are hundreds of Alliance Française across America, across the American continent. In the US, 100 of them. And we are part of the same network. So that's why it's so important for us to have these partnerships with our colleagues from overseas, from Canada, from the US, and in many more countries as well. It's very important because we believe that this network is very important for those who are interested in the French cultures, who are interested in the French language. And it's what's the best way to actually discover and improve the knowledge of the French cultures and language than being in a French-speaking city to actually practice it. So that's our program. Our program is in Montreal, in person, of course. Why Montreal is a good place to actually come and learn French? First, because it is a great city to live in. I've been living there for a couple of years now, and it's such a vibrant city with a lot of cultural life, a lot of things happening here, a lot of events. It's one of the largest French-speaking cities in the world. Okay, it is the 6th largest speaking city after Kinshasa, Paris, Abidjan in Ivory Coast, Yaoundé in Cameroon, and Casablanca in Morocco. It's a very specific city with a unique identity. First, because it's a student city, there are many universities and colleges here in Montreal, downtown Montreal. So it means that the city is constantly bubbling and with new people, new ideas. And so that's what it's so interesting to actually come and discover it. It's also a very good city for arts and culture in North America. A lot of museums, a lot of exhibitions, a lot of entertainment as well, whether it is opera, drama, theater, and music in general. And one of the most important aspects is that it's an affordable city. It's not cheap, but it's affordable in comparison with other cities such as Toronto, for instance, or New York, Boston, and of course, in comparison with Paris, for instance, which is overseas. So you have also this to take into account. And yeah, so Montreal is still today a city that is great for tourism, but it's also great just to discover and roam around, wander around, and discover what makes it great. It's strong identity, it's local culture, it's very strong. It's a mix of European and North American heritage. So from the from the European side, it would be more. We can see it in the way people live, their mindset. They are quite chill, okay, pretty laid back. It's a city where you could see people in the summertime on the terraces, drinking, having drinks in the evening, having drinks all day. You have a lot of parks. You have a lot of you have free access and very easy access to the cultural life as well. And the North American heritage is more from the perspective that people are really into new ideas, a lot of change happening every time. So it's a pretty vibrant city, and it's also a very strong identity. I think it's unique, actually, not only in Canada but also in the US or in the whole continent, the whole American continent. You could not meet that anywhere else, actually. And there's this crossroads of communities. It's a city that has been for centuries a harbor for a lot of communities, a lot of people that are refugees from other parts of the world. And so it makes a blend that is very interesting to discover, and a bit like some people would compare it to what New York can be, for instance. You have all these communities living, mingling, blending in together, and so it makes Montreal a great place to not only to live but to also discover. So, why come to Montreal to improve your French? The thing is that in Montreal we are in the province of Quebec. Province of Quebec is a French-speaking, officially a French-speaking province. Okay, the only one in Canada that is fully French-speaking. But it's surrounded with English-speaking ocean, let's say, between Canada and the US that are very nearby. French language here, it's not a fun fact. It's not something that a few people in town can actually speak. No. It's the language of the town, and it shapes the city's identity. For instance, I live in a neighborhood that is 96% French speaking. So every day I speak French, not only for work at the Alliance Française, but every time I go shopping, every time I go out with my friends, every time I do something like I work out or things like that, I speak French. So it's a very, very, very easy to speak French. It doesn't mean that it's only French. A lot of people actually speak English here, obviously. A lot of people speak other languages such as Arabic, Chinese, or Spanish, for instance. But it is part of the city's identity, and there are many things you can experience in French. One of the obvious things is that Montreal is way closer to the West Coast, to Seattle, to Portland, than Paris, Geneva, Brussels, Marseille, Nice, etc. Okay, so it's really close. A couple of hours. You have to fly a couple of hours, and you're in Montreal. So it makes it quite attractive, I think, also because it's the only city on the continent where you can have a city that big that is French speaking on that massive scale. Okay. And for those who would be a bit afraid of the Quebec accent, just know that, of course, most French speakers here, they have a Quebec accent because they're Québécois. But the French-speaking community is huge, and it's not only Quebec. You have a lot of French people, like myself. We also have a lot of people coming from the Caribbean, from other European countries. A lot of people come from the African countries, where French is one of the official languages. So you have a mix of accents. you will be able to experience. You will be able to meet a lot of people with these different accents. But yeah, and you will have the Quebec accent anyway, because if you turn on the TV or turn on the radio, go to shops, most people, they will be Quebecois, of course, so they will speak with their very distinctive and lovely accent. So you know. A couple of pictures here, so you see, I'm going to talk about it later. So we can see Kelly here teaching a class last year. We can see one of our colleagues. And so these are small groups, as you can see. And it's the emphasis is put on oral practice, but we're going to talk about this. What is this Immersion Francophone about? So it's a 5-day program from Monday to Friday. You will have classes in the morning and you will have cultural activities in the afternoon. So the classes in the morning, there are 3-hour classes in the morning with a focus on oral practice and Quebec and Montreal culture. It means that we won't talk about Paris, we won't talk about the rest of the French-speaking world. Not that it's not interesting, but we want to put a focus on the city we live in that is so unique, and this culture that is like an island of French-speaking culture here on the American continent. So for us, it's very important to actually put an emphasis on this. And the oral practice, it's let's say it's in 2 ways. You will hear a lot of authentic documents. We will work and study these documents, these texts as well that were written here, and you will like speak as much as possible through activities and like debates, depending on your level, and a lot of interactive exercises and situations. We think that's the best way for you to improve. So speaking French all day long, in the morning, of course, and then in the afternoon. The cultural activities are quite diverse. You will have museum tours, some tasting, cooking workshops, guided tours as well of Montreal. The exact schedule is not yet confirmed, but you will receive a confirmation giving you the schedule, etc., the precise schedule, once you're enrolled. Okay, so here you can see also a couple of pictures about some of the visits we had last year. One was in a wonderful museum called Ecomusée that is about the workers' history of this downtown Montreal. And it's very important because it explains to you why the city looks like this, why people behave like this as well, for instance. So it's very cool. And we also had like a partnership with the theater in Montreal, and so people discovered a bit more about this from an intern perspective. What's it like being in the arts world here in Montreal? The classes. So we divided the classes into 4. So we have 4 levels, and we make a distinction between the A levels and the B levels. For the A levels, we will have A1 and A2. A1 being it's not the absolute beginners, but it's people with knowledge of French, meaning they know about the present tense, they know about the general vocabulary of daily life, like leisure and food and sports, the weather, that kind of stuff. So it's not for people who have absolutely no knowledge of French. These people, they won't have fun here. Because it's for people, designed for people who already have a certain knowledge of French. In the A2 class as well, and the same, we will talk about the gastronomy, the leisure, Montreal landmarks, daily life in general, the challenges of winter, for instance, that kind of things. And for the B levels that are divided into B1 and B2, each week has a theme. Okay, so one of the weeks will be history, hier et aujourd'hui. So we will focus on what made Montreal in the past and now, how we can relate to that. So it will be about like the place that how do you call it? The First Nations have here in Montreal, for instance, the weight of the French presence here in Montreal, the weight of the English presence as well, and how all these communities live together and have been living together for the past decades, if not centuries. We will also, the second theme is about science and nature, so the environment we live in. So we'll talk about sciences, technology, the environment, the challenges that we face with the climate change, for instance. And we will focus on the fact that Montreal is a very important place for anything video games, technology like AI, and also with the how do you say that, like science and technology such as Bombardier or Alstom, or all these things that were either invented in Montreal or designed or improved here in Montreal, and are part of the economic and social and political landscape. And last, the third theme that was very popular last year, Montréal artistes, so the arts and museums and cultural life. We will study like artists, Quebec artists and Montreal artists, and how all that makes Montreal such a special place. Obviously, the visits in the afternoon for these special themes will be specific to the themes, okay? So for the history week, for instance, we will visit museums, or we'll do things that are related to what you studied in the morning, okay? And the same goes for every class, every week. But yeah, so you will be able to reuse the vocabulary. You will be able to have, like, to use what you learned in the morning, and it will help you understand better what's happening afterwards in the afternoon. So the cultural activities, as I said earlier, the schedule is not yet fully confirmed, but as I told you, we will go to at least 2 museums, and we will have several activities around that as well, like tastings of Quebec products. We will have cultural workshops and also guided tours of Montreal. So you will be able to explore many neighborhoods and learn a lot about what's going on. The visits will be conducted in French, okay? So they will be adapted, whether it's a B-level group or A-level group. And so people will be able to speak also to the guide and ask questions and make sure they understand. And so it was very appreciated last year. People were really happy to put in practice, actually, for real, what they had learned. And so that's the goal, actually. Okay, so we teach in French and we do the visits in French as well. So that's how we work. This is very Alliance Française of us to conduct everything in French. But yes, we make sure that you will make progress during the week you spend with us. You can see me on the picture here as well. I was with the group last year. We were at the Musée des Beaux-Arts. You can see the beautiful mural painting of Leonard Cohen in the back. We went to the Old Montreal, and so it was very nice. Really, it's usually very sunny at that time of the year in Montreal, so it's a beautiful time of the year, and we were very happy to welcome all these people. We have little groups, as you can see. So because we are the constraints we have here is that our rooms are quite small, so we cannot have more than 8 people in a class. So the groups are limited to 8 people. So far, we have some classes that are quite filled already for the summer. So if you are willing to come, don't wait up, because it's actually getting a lot more people are enrolling right now as we speak. So that's one of the things. And yeah, so that's everything about the classes and the visits, basically. Now the question is, of course, where to stay. Okay, you're not from here. Where are you going to go in the evening to rest? Several options are available. Alliance Française de Montréal is downtown Montreal, old Montreal. So we are located, like, it's very central, very easy to reach with public transportation, buses, bikes. We have a lovely network of bikes here. Several things are possible, whether you want to be within like a reachable radius of Alliance Française. Hostels, hotels, some neighborhoods are allowed to have Airbnbs, so it's possible. If you have friends or family, of course, you can stay with them. And this year, we offer the possibility to actually stay in a hosting family, French-speaking hosting family, with an exclusive partner we have, who's used to working with universities, with Concordia, McGill, HEC Montréal, and a lot of colleges in town. So very reliable partner. You can choose the duration of your stay. You can choose several options, such as a private bathroom if you want to be picked up at the airport or dropped off. If you have some allergies or things like that, you can also mention it. And it's quite, I wouldn't say cheap, but it's quite affordable as well. That's a good option for those who would love to come, who are more tighter on the budget, maybe. It's a bit more budget friendly, that option, but it's also a great way to actually spend the whole trip, the whole stay in French from dusk to dawn, basically. So that would be a great option. We don't deal with it Alliance Française is not in charge of that part. We recommend this partner to you, and then you're free to actually contact them and make your reservation and payment directly with them. So yeah, and the earlier you do it, the better are the chances to actually get a family that is quite close to Alliance Française. So that could help. A few details about the prerequisites of this program. So it's open to anyone of Quebec legal age. It means 18 years old or older. Okay, we don't accept minors. And generally in Alliance Française de Montréal, we don't have children classes or teen classes. So we only do grown-ups, adults, legal adults. And so that's the most important prerequisite for us. The second one is the physical one. It means that we're not going to go on a hike, we're not going to climb mountains, we're not going to do skiing or whatever, no. But you should be comfortable with walking and standing, particularly in a hot and humid environment, such as Montreal in the summer. What I mean by that is that I do understand that in many cities around the US and Canada as well, a lot of people are not comfortable, are not used to walking every day. Montreal is a very walkable city, at least downtown Montreal and like center part of Montreal is very walkable. So it means that most people, they use public transportation, they use bikes, they use their feet to actually go from one place to another. For instance, I don't have a car. I don't think I'll ever have one here, and it's not a problem. I can do everything I want just by public transportation or walking or cycling. So we want the participants of this program to be able to stand and also to walk, because to go to some visits, you will have to walk. We will have to walk to the metro station, which is 10 minutes away from Alliance Française. You will have to walk within the museum, obviously. So okay. Last year, we had people from 21 years old, I think, to 81 years old. And it was lovely and fun, and everything went fine. But just so you know that it's good for you if you are able to do that and to sustain it on 5 days. Okay, that is very important. And also this year, we include in the program the bus metro card. So you won't have to pay every time. It's included in the price, okay? It will be given to you on the first day, on Monday, the first day you arrive. For this program, no books are needed, no other resources. We will provide everything. There will be no assessment because this is not the objective or the goal of the program. The program is not to teach you French like you would be taught in, like, I don't know, an intensive course, for instance, or a classic French class. It's just for you to put an emphasis on the oral practice, discover more about Montreal, discovering what makes our city great, and improve your French, like intensively in 1 week, but there will be no assessment, okay? So don't be surprised. The only assessment we ask for is the first one, the entry-level assessment. So if you are already enrolled at Alliance Française, whether it's in Portland or in Seattle, you are following courses there, you can ask them to provide, to send us your class certificate. Like, okay, it's a proof that you've been a student of Alliance Française. If you're not, can happen as well, or if it's not recent, and you have the results of one of the French official tests, so DELF, TCF, TEF, or DFP, you can send them directly to us with your grades report. Okay, we need to see everything, and not just the general score, but the details of the grades. Okay, and if you are in another situation, can happen as well, it's not a problem, we will send you an online free placement test, assessment test, with one of our teaching staff, and so you will be able to know where you stand. Okay, and it's free, and it takes like 15 minutes, and if you have some questions, we can also answer them. But yeah, we ask them so you are in the right group from the beginning. We have the 4 levels, as I said, A1, A2, B1, B2. So we have like room for everyone, except the absolute beginners. But other than that, you'll be covered. How to enroll? So you can go directly to our website. There you can choose the weeks of your choice. It's repeated. I didn't see it. So you can choose the weeks of your choice, and then you register. And you have, as a member of a partner Alliance Française, you have a discount. Okay, so you have to how do you say that? Write down the code, the discount code that you are given by the Alliance Française, either in Portland or in Seattle. And after that, once it's done, we send you messages, we answer your questions, we ask for the proof of level, and then it's confirmed, and you can come. Okay, so that's how it works. We will be in touch with you, and we will let you know everything you need to know in advance before coming to Montreal. So in conclusion, why choose our program? First, it's an easy access from the USA. Even if West Coast is a bit more, it's a bit further, but it's still easy to come by to access. It's in French only. So if your goal is to improve, you will improve, whether you want it or not, to be honest, because it will be conducted in French only, the classes, the visits, even at A1 levels. Okay, our teachers are used to teaching A1 levels. We have plenty of A1 classes here in Montreal, so no problem with that. We will focus on oral practice, okay? And the emphasis is on Montreal and Quebec cultures. So you will discover more about the city, the province as well, how it lives within Canada as well. And so for you, that will be unique. Okay, that's we're not going to talk about other places. So I think it's quite a unique thing to actually discover. It's a great opportunity for you to expand your knowledge on the French-speaking world. And so that's why I think the program is very interesting for you. It's also a balanced mix of free time and scheduled activities. One of the things that are usually can be seen in other immersion language trips and stays is that you're packed with things to do, okay? Here, you have things to do. You will be in class in the morning, 3 hours, and then you will have a cultural activity, but then you will have free time. You will have free time to discover by yourself, to go to the museums you like, or to go to concerts, festivals, plenty of festivals in the summertime in Montreal. And you can see your friends if you have friends, or here, or just, go idle if you like. So that's a good way for you to experience the city by yourself. Last year, the groups, they had a very nice atmosphere, and so a lot of people actually chose to go out together, go out for drinks, or to go to a restaurant, or go to Cirque du Soleil together, that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you're interested in Cirque du Soleil, by the way, this year it's a stay for Cirque du Soleil. So they stay from end of May to end of June. So if you want to see Cirque du Soleil, you should come in June. Otherwise, you won't see them. So that's why. Our groups are small, maximum 8 students. As I said earlier, our teachers are, like in every Alliance Française, experienced and qualified as well. And so the price includes the classes in the morning, the cultural activities that are on the schedule, the bus pass, as I said, bus metro pass for zone A. We include also breakfast, like the welcome breakfast. On Monday morning, you will be all invited to this breakfast all together. So you will have croissant and pain au chocolat, thé, café. You will have included also other activities, the cultural activities in the afternoon, as I said, and final farewell lunch on Fridays. So you can all say goodbye and exchange about discuss about our week. You can book up to 3 weeks in a row in July and August. So every week you will have something different, on the menu. It means that even if you are A1, you will still see other activities, you will still study other things, practice in another way. And for the B levels, each week having a theme, you will have a different theme every week if you book up to 3 weeks. So that's one of the different the things we offer here. So I don't know if you've been asked a lot of questions, Kelly, if needed.
Thank you so much, Noeline. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, or there's not too many of us, so feel free to turn on your camera and unmute yourself, and we can chat more informally. We have a few shy participants, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. No problem with that. Yes.
I have a question. Do you know the host families that you work with, or is it's a separate program?
It's the partner we chose. He's the one in charge of selecting the families, making sure they are reliable, all that. Their police certificates are checked, all that. And he is the one in charge of because the manager is a man, but they are in charge of this through and through. We don't operate in any ways with them. So they are very reliable. We chose them because they've been working with other prestigious universities here, with HEC, with Concordia, McGill, UQAM, UDEM. So yes, they have a very good, clean record when it comes to the hosting families. And should there be anything, anyway, the manager and his team are very quick to respond if needed. So there's no problem about that. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yes. Do we have any questions? Or... No, it's okay.
I think you already answered a lot of questions in the presentation. It's very
good.
Thank you.
Good. Okay, so should there be any questions? Diane can answer. I think Elena can answer. And if not, if they can't answer, then we will be asked. And so you will get the answer anyway. So no problem with that. Just to make sure for the American citizens, not the even people who are Canadian, actually, you will need health insurance at some point. Not that it's not a requirement for us, but Canada, like the US, it can be very expensive when it comes to health expenses. Should anything arrive, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Some people tend to forget, but yeah. So we advise our students to actually have a health insurance or like a travel insurance at least for the trip. And also always make sure that your passport, your immigrating situation is in order before you actually cross the border. So you can check on the Canadian website. It's like canada.ca, and they have like, should I have a visa or what's happening? So that's also a very important thing to check before leaving the US. So, yeah. Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Merci.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Merci
Thank you everyone
beaucoup.
for joining us. And,
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we'll try to publish the recording shortly and send it to our participants and co-organizers, of course.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
We talk soon. Have a nice day.
Yes.
Have a nice
Have a
weekend as well.
Great weekend, everyone.
Thank
Au
you.
revoir.
Au revoir.
Merci.
Merci.